Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has stated that only new sanctions on Russia will force Moscow to agree to a ceasefire. He also emphasized that the recent Russian bombardments shows the world that Moscow is prolonging the war. Overnight, Ukraine's Air Force successfully downed 6 ballistic missiles and 245 drones in a massive Russian aerial attack on Kyiv. The attack rocked the city with explosions, triggering fires across multiple districts and injuring at least 2 people. Kyiv remains on high alert as Russia launched a combined drone and missile strike, targeting residential areas. Eyewitnesses captured the loud explosions and debris flew through the air. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko confirmed that several residential buildings were hit, including those in Solomyansky and Dniprovsky districts. Meanwhile, Russia and Ukraine have begun the largest prisoner swap of the war, exchanging 390 soldiers and civilians. Ukrainian President Zelensky vowed to bring back all citizens and soldiers held by Russia. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stated that Moscow is ready to present peace terms to Ukraine after the prisoner swap is completed. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araqchi described the ongoing nuclear talks with the United States as complicated but expressed hope for progress. After this 5th round of talks in Rome, Araqchi called the discussions the most professional so far. He emphasized that while challenges remain, the negotiations are moving in a reasonable direction. Here's what the Iranian Foreign Minister has said.
این ادوار مذاکراتی بود که تا الان داشتیم و خب ما یک بار دیگه مواضع و اصول جمهوری اسلامی رو در خصوص مذاکرات بیان کردیم. مواضع ما کاملا روشن هست و ما بر اونها ایستادگی داریم. فکر می‌کنم الان یک درک بهتری و روشن‌تری از مواضع ما در نزد طرف آمریکایی وجود داره.
Araqchi has, while Iran was calling these talks complicated, on the other hand, a senior U.S. official also described the talks as constructive and noted that both sides agreed to meet again soon. Despite the progress, significant hurdles still exist, including Iran's uranium enrichment and demands for sanctions relief. The talks, mediated by Oman, aim to resolve a decades-long dispute over Iran's nuclear program. Araqchi reiterated Iran's stance on its right to enrich uranium. While the U.S. pushes for limits, both sides are now reviewing proposals and preparing for the next round of discussions. The location for the next round of talks will be confirmed soon. Attacks by IDF have killed at least 76 people in Gaza. Blasts were heard as Israel resumed air and ground operations. No comment was made by the Israeli military till now. Prime Minister Netanyahu has said the operations will end with Israel controlling the Gaza Strip. The UN chief warned of the cruelest phase for Palestinians as the humanitarian situation deteriorates and aid remains low. Over a dozen aid trucks were looted in southern Gaza. Aid delivery remains low, with only a small fraction of necessary supplies reaching the region. Antonio Guterres called on Israel to allow more aid to enter on the ground in Gaza. Families remain struggling with basic needs like food and water in short supply. The latest reports from Gaza's health ministry put the death toll since March at over 3,600, bringing the total number of lives lost in this conflict to more than 53,000 people, the majority of which are civilians. U.S. President Donald Trump threatened Apple and other smartphone manufacturers with a 25% tariff unless their devices are built in the United States. Trump initially said the tariff would apply only to Apple, an unusual move to single out a specific company in trade policy. However, he later expanded the threat to include all smartphone makers while Apple designs its products in the United States. Most iPhone assembly occurs in China, which remains embroiled in trade war with the United States. Apple has launched plans to shift some production to other countries, including India. But Trump said this would not satisfy his demands. In a post on Truth Social, Trump wrote that he had long ago informed Tim Cook of Apple that he expects their iPhones that will be sold in the United States of America to be manufactured and built in the United States, not India or any other place. Apple's main rival, South Korea's Samsung, finds itself in a similar situation with most of its production in Vietnam, China, and India. The constant pressure from the White House has taken a toll on Apple's stock price. Other smartphone companies are likely to take a hit as well.